team as we jump right into draft, which has started already with a first ban on Dirty Dance side being Jinx, countered by Leona that we were talking about being so strong for Modren, into Orianna, into the Caitlyn.
Thinking about the safe lane from the side Dirty Dancers. There's no Lulu ban on the side Dirty Dancers. Do you know what that says to me? That says they want to first pick it.
I
I
think
don't
they really
see
should.
how you leave Lulu open versus Rising Tides and not first pick it here. That'd
And
be a grave mistake, I feel.
we do see the bans we were talking about before the broadcast started. The Leona, the Rammus all taking off the table, the Jinx as well. I didn't even think about Diana Zoltar, big Diana player in the mid lane, so easily transferable to the jungle, especially when it's this strong. And they do first pick the Lulu, like you well called out there. They're hovering the kill, a little notch there to their previous top laner, but look the Viego.
Well, you can't get the Lulu in the draft, you get her in the match. Let's see who that Viego goes over to. I think it's most likely to go jungle, especially with the Kayle. I think the Kale's more likely to go mid if they do pick it. Or maybe they're just hovering it for the BM, but they pick the Thresh instead. Thresh is one of those champs that can punish Lulu, right?
I think it was a BM hover, and like you said, Thresh can easily pressure on the Lulu in lane, pretty vulnerable to the hook, to getting hooked. And Viego is most definitely going to the jungle. I've seen Zoltar played a lot recently. Of course, he knew he was going to swap to the jungle for this week, so might have some hours practicing into it. And they actually looked the kill. Wait a minute, I thought they were BMing too. They looked the kill.
No, maybe the BM is that they've done the scouting and they think they can play into the Kayle, right? Kayle Lulu is obviously going to be super strong late game. We just have to see if Dirty Dancers can make their way there. But if RT like picking the scaly ADCs and their strongest player is Virus, I'm just saying, it's going to be a lot easier to make it to late game. So maybe we'll have to see some more aggression on the side of RT to try and punish these scaling picks.
Ooh, they looked the Ashe. Pretty strong lane combined with the Lulu. I like Ashe on this patch with the build with the shield bow and with send, of course. So pretty strong pickup there. And like you said, they're really focusing on the late game.
I mean, it's very safe when you play Ashe, right? You can just get the priority with the W, maybe help out the jungler a little bit, especially if you're expecting the Viego to be strong. Oh,
yeah, most definitely. And the Tristana for Virus. Yeah. Very strong bot lane here picked up for RT. Of course, they're playing against Ashe Lulu. I don't know how much kill pressure they're going to have. If Ashe Lulu just played safe, they should be fine. But I don't think you want to play it safe, because if you play it, or if you're RT, you have to play aggressive, because it is a kill on the enemy team and you don't want it to scale up. I mean, Viego's pretty strong later in the game, but it's not a kill.
I want to point something out though. You know what does Kayle suffer from late game? What's her like one weakness, would you say? Perhaps. Like if you had to say one thing that Kayle is really bad at late game, and Ashe as well.
Surviving.
They're not that long range, is the point I'm trying to make here, right? Ashe, decent auto attack range, not like a Caitlyn, not like a Jinx with rockets, not like a Kog'Maw. Kayle, she does get the range increase, but it's not. I'm not sure it's going to be enough to compensate for the Tristana huge range increase from her passive. So maybe that's how RT are looking to play. So like just kite back with the Thresh with the Tristana, and play it slow. Just poke them out and free hit. Let's see if they can pull off their strategy though, if that's what they are going for. Anything you want to talk about the bans?
I mean, the Talia, of course, for Echo Kill has played it before. Looked very strong in it as well. And the 2-trick Angelsarcher gets his Warwick band as well. Silas taking off the table here. Of course, they do have pretty good ults on Dirty Dance's side, so I like the ban. And the tank top in form of the frog is banned too. And I looked at Rengar. This is a Rengar top. Yeah, I've... a little bird told me that this guy plays Rengar top. From what I've seen, it didn't look that good, but against the Kayle, it can, of course, it's pretty hard for Kayle to play that lane.
You mean the Kayle's not going mid, because that was the thing for a while. It's a bit safer, it's a bit shorter. But then you can flex a Tristana mid, even, perhaps. You just jump on the Kayle and murderize her. We'll have to see, though.
But I do, the Ivern.
The Ivern!
They're banking on the kill.
They're looking.
And the Irelia. So maybe it might be a kill mid-May. Or the Irelia could go mid. A lot of flex picks here, at least.
Yeah. You can put them into whatever matchup's more favorable. But I do want to point out, you're playing a late game scaling comp versus Tristana and Viego. You haven't picked any tanks if Irelia goes through. That's going to make playing the late game, playing around these objectives late, really, really difficult, right? Like, Ivan's obviously going to provide shields, but it's not like any reliable form of CC outside of Ashe ult.
Yes. Welcome back, everybody, to the game between Dirty Dance and RT. Right off the bat, RT looking for the invade.
Yeah, doing a cheeky 5 bot side. With the Thresh, it's understandable, but they're going to get seen by lucasfelipe.
Yeah,
Maybe they suspect, but you gotta run now. Oh, he's got that. That's unfortunate.
Okay. That's very unfortunate.
Not what you want to see. I do like the exhaust on the Ashe, but I don't like the exhaust on the Ashe instead of the cleanse, considering you're against the Cassio and the Thresh. But that's not what you want to see. Instantly getting blown up.
On the and the gold goes to the Rengar as well, who's already having an easy time in this lane. Kill is gonna have a hard time now with this extra longsword for the Rengar top. So
disgusting.
Pretty unfortunate.
Yeah, makes it so much harder to lane on the Kayle. They're on the Doran shield to try and last a bit long. I don't know how good the Doran shield is versus the Rengar, but let's wait and see.
I mean, the jumps from Rengar do count as auto attack, so I think it might be pretty okay, but I don't think the longsword is that good for Kayle to play against, in my expert opinion.
And it looked like Ivan's not going to look for an invade here, just doing the classic Ivan clear route. I have a friend who mains Ivern, and he'd be very mad if this clear route was suboptimal, and I didn't know, so I'm just going to pretend it's very optimal, and he's doing the best order of camps he can. They do see Viego on the ward top side, so they know he's going to be pathing down bot. Something good to know. I feel like maybe Viego should have tried to path top, just to try and get this Kayle further behind, but pathing bot makes sense as well with the Thresh.
Yeah, I agree. I do think he should have been pathing towards top, and he got spotted as well, so Ashe didn't burn any summoners when she died level 1, which is okay for her now, but I don't think it's going to work.
Cassio trading onto the mid lane, getting a nice chunk down on Foxey. That's range versus melee matchup, I guess, unless you land that stun when you're level 3 on Foxey. It's going to be very hard to play that lane.
Yeah, it's gonna suck for a while for Foxey here in the mid lane, but I think after a few levels and maybe some early MR, it should be fine, and he actually should be on the winning side of this matchup in mid lane. But I is able to just farm this minions under tower, so it's pretty fine as Sylv keeps shoving in. So
actually going for a cheater recall on 3, very smart. Maybe going to be able to pick up the tier on this back, which is going to be super huge.
And he does. Early tier, of course, very good. Get the stacking, get the scaling going as soon as possible. Pretty well played there from Sylv, pushing in to get the cheater recall and get the tier so he can start scaling immediately. Almost like you would do on things like Varus bots and Ezreal, try and just get the cheater recall in, get the tier early, get some more fighting power. Pretty good stuff so far.
I want to point out that Dashingo had to blow his flash top lane, perhaps getting jumped on by the Rengar and being a bit afraid. That's not what you want to see, but there is a teleport advantage on the side of Dirty Dancers, so maybe they're looking to play more defensively around the spot lane.
Yeah, as Ivern finds the Rengar in the jungle, I don't think you really want to fight this, being Ivern does jump in back, but I think they should be able to walk out, right?
Yeah, they get the confirmation that the crab is taking top side, but fight going down here, Thresh looks going to be important, but no, it's just a really good trade. That's Lulu shielding and speed up power early game.
Like we said in draft, Ashe Lulu pretty strong lane, not to be underestimated here. Ivern looking for the gank, maybe this Rengar is playing very aggressive.
They should know the Ivan's up here, so he's going to play a bit safe. Putting a bush down for Rengar there, I'm not sure about that one. That's actually a bit of anti-synergy, but then again, it's a huge bait. He jumps forwards, but he's not able to find anything from either side.
We didn't even talk about that one yet. Of course, Ivern against Rengar.
There's Viego walking top lane, no mana on the Kayle. Shield goes up on the Ivern, but not for the Kayle. That might have been a crucial misplay. Comes through. Oh, they get the first blood, but they do fall down in return to Viego. But the teleport comes through. That's the teleport advantage mid lane. They're going to take down the Viego here. It's really good for the side of Dirty Dancers, being able to make up for that first blood in the bot lane. I know I said first blood, but first laning blood. But they do lose a huge wave mid.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's still pretty good being the Kayle here. Do get the kill back in this very hard matchup. Also, Irelia does get a kill. I think it was better for her to just stay top and let Kayle teleport mid, but they do opt into the other one.
Trade coming down as Cassio, the W power, like her W is just going to stop the Irelia dash, which is going to be so dangerous. Takes a huge chunk.
Yeah, but yeah, like you said, I think Kayle should have just teleported bot because, or mid rather, because now he's just missing this entire wave, which Irelia could have just pushed out herself, and Irelia wouldn't have to burn the flash mid lane against Cassio. So small
Still on the turret
imperfections, but
top.
still
Yeah.
good play for Dirty Dancers. I feel like getting 2 kills back. Pretty even in CS2. Of course, Rengar does have a big wave to farm up.
Even in CS, they're 1k gold, well, 0.7k gold down, which is quite a big deficit, right? It's something you
Yeah.
expect to see when the kills are even. And
I
the
mean,
CS
that is,
fairly
of
even, so-
course, the 500 gold first blood does help out with that one. And there is, of course, some CS differentials in mid and in the jungle. Rengar now, too, has a wave advantage. So small advantages across the board. Do take down the dragon here with the pressure they have bot lane. Ivern, though.
The blind hook's pretty impressive. He suspects Angel's gonna go check on the dragon and he's punished for it. No prior in the mid lane, no prior in the bot lane means you're just dead when that happens to you.
I'm not sure what Angelsarcher was thinking there, trying to face check when you know they're on dragon, because he did use the sweeper, but and they took it down even.
Rengar's trying to trade up top side, but Kayle able to get away with the heal.
This is fine if you're Kayle here, just getting pushed in, just farming it up on their tower. I don't think this is where you want to be if you're the Rengar, to be honest. But of course, maybe not having the opportunity to not push in, of course, being the only one that hits the wave. Because Kayle's just sitting on the tower already, so it should be able to
Modren
farm this all right up.
Played very carefully down there, not dying to the Viego, who they knew was bot side, very smart. So we expect to see out of the star support player for the side, Dirty Dancers. Whereas Angelsarcher is looking up top side. Looking perhaps to prevent a possible die, considering they haven't seen Viego on the map, or maybe he's just looking to collect his camps. Rengar's looking to contest, he's caught out in the jungle. Kayle is level 6, so she does have the range swarm. They're going to keep whacking him. I'm not sure he's going to be able to win, but he does get away with the ult. Running back towards his Viego.
Buffs are throw of the hunt to get out. Pretty okay stuff here. Nice burning that for the Dirty Dancer side. A little relief pressure, on the Kayle top, so pretty okay overall. Of course, Ivern being able to share his buffs from level 5, Kayle picking up a blue buff, which should really help clearing the wave with some more Qs being available to her as Rengar looks to push out. Has the 6 now, so he does get the range increase, which should make it a little bit harder for Rengar to just jump in carelessly in this lane.
I'm surprised there's no Wit's End being picked up for the Irelia. Looking to get the board first, I just think it's really strong as the Cassio. Just so much.
I feel like that's a mistake there on Foxey's side.
Kayle steps up, takes a huge chunk from the Rengar, walks back into the bush and continues to trade.
Does have the ult available to her still.
Kill pressure is so much lower, even if you are 15 CS down at this point. CS deficits across the board for the side of Dice Dancers, almost 15 exactly in every single lane. But there's only a 5 in the bot lane.
Yeah, Dirty Dancers bot lane holding their own pretty well here against RT's bot lane, but yeah, I mean, like we pointed out before, Ivern should get behind Ifar because he just farms slower than the Viego. Top lane is a hard matchup, mid lane is a hard matchup. They're just waiting, looking out to scale up.
Something we didn't mention in draft is the Rengar ult versus the Kayle ult, right? Like, you pick the Rengar into the Kayle, it's a bold move. But we can't talk about it now because it looks like the fight heading down bot. Angelsarcher looking for a gank. Arrow hits onto the Thresh, but Angelsarcher is going to get collapsed on. Viego was waiting in the bush, they didn't have any knowledge. Perhaps that was a bit too aggressive from them, having not seen Viego on vision and looking to continue. Viego walks forwards onto the Ashe, Lulu walks herself. Very smart move there to keep her alive. Maybe they could have collapsed on her if she not ulted herself, but there's nothing else picked up for the side of RT as they walk out.
A good initial start of the fight here.
Never mind, there's
maybe
another
not
fight
over.
continuing. Irelia cues in, perhaps this 1v3 is a bit bold. Yeah, I'm not too sure about that one. They might look to continue. They got the power of Irelia on this dive. Bot lane's so low. That's such a huge cue for the Viego. He can play every single jam. Oh, that's disgusting. This is so bad for the side of Dirty Dancers. They're just going to get run down by the ulting Viego. But then again, Lulu's got Ivern here to support. She doesn't die as well. And they're not able to pick anything up on them. No, she does die to the bomb! Oh, that's so unfortunate for the side of Dirty Dancers. And just like that, the game's run away from them.
Oh yeah, like we was trying to say, Ivern looking for the gank bot, doesn't realize Viego's there too, and they're just not stronger in the 3v3 at this point in the game. And they do pay for it with 4 kills, I believe. because Irelia decides to roam down. Is a little bit frustrated with how mid lane is going, perhaps looking to make a play herself, and does die too. And now his 40 is down in the mid lane to Sylv, who's just been farming it up the entire
this
game.
game was so good until that bot lane disaster for the side of Dirty Dancers. And here they are getting poked down. I don't know if you want to push W in the miasma. You're just going to sit in that poison for longer, but not able to make anything for Sylv. So he does have the ult.
Foxey looking a little bit uncomfortable here under Irelia, maybe not too adjusted to how to play that champion, but as Viego is now 3-1, very strong here with Zoltar on the Viego, should be very scary on Dirty Dancer's side, yeah.
100% kill participation. Having to blow the ult defensively in the Irelia is not what you want to see. Maybe he could have even dived in there, but doesn't want to risk it. The exhaust does come through from Sylv as well.
I think he could have Sylv being pretty low on mana, doesn't have the mana to ult, so maybe he could have killed him there, but decides to play it safe in the end because he is down so much already, doesn't want to risk going down another death. But
Zoltar continues to put on a jungle clinic here by taking away the Rift Herald.
Zoltar a very strong performance so far on the Viego, getting every objective, now maybe losing the dragon, but don't think they're gonna opt into it with the bot lane of RT still there. But yeah, Zoltar really showing up here on the Viego.
The Ashe push is less meaningful when Tristana can just clear your way back with a passive and active.
And already the Kraken Slayer too on the Tristana. Pretty big item spikes here already, so
and Herald's going mid. Oh, Viego going into the Irelia? Perhaps fancying his luck, and he seems to be able to get it considering Katu is still there to support him. And maybe that Rift Herald will claim first turret for the side of RT.
Yeah, I think it does already really contest the wave here against Sylv and Zoltar, but and they do take down Ivern though. Might be
calls out the position again. That's not what you want to do. You can't walk up like that, especially when you've done it where you know he's around mid lane. Yeah, the double kill comes through for the side of RT.
Angelsarcher still thinks he's playing Rammus and he's a tank. Walks up way too far on the Ivern, gets caught out again. 0-3 now on this Ivern, not looking too hot on it either.
300 health or 250 health from the Moonstone. It's not going to save even that one, buddy.
And we keep talking about the kill scanning, and the kill is doing fine, but the rest of the team is just crumbling right under her feet. And as Cassio's on the roam.
It's a bot lane dive coming through here, a teleport coming down from the mid lane, see if it's going to save. Ashe gets dived on by the Cassio. The kill's going to try and come through, but it doesn't seem to. They're going to turn back onto Foxey. Lulu's blown her ult. Ashe has blown her arrow, but they managed to get out with the Thresh. Being able to get the teleport from the side of Dirty Dancers.
Good lantern there from Thresh there, and with Foxey again TPing in bot, doesn't get anything in the end. But yeah, like we were talking about, huge items already on the side of RT, and it's just getting harder and harder for Dirty Dancers to try and stay in this game and skill up. Since of course, like we talked about in draft, RT does have good scaling themselves too. So
an okay disadvantage at 13 minutes.
Yeah, it's a big one.
Very big. There's 2-level disadvantage in the mid, 2-level disadvantage top, and
oh no!
Unable to look for the gank on top side, perhaps slightly mispositioning on that blast cone. It's going to go back to making friends with Crom. More plates going over to the side of RT.
Yeah, Virus should have a lot of gold here as he is going for the base. Did get a lot of plates, did get a lot of kills, some farms, so might even be looking to...
Dirty Dancers didn't get a single plate there versus the destruction of the mid turret, the massive damage to bot turret, and even a few chips off the top turret.
Yeah, it's looking pretty rough here for Dirty Dancers with their scaling comp. Cassio again looking for a top lane gank perhaps, but Kayle playing far back, playing very safe. Almost level 11 here. Doesn't have a full item completed yet, but starting to ramp up a bit.
For the rest of this game. I know it's what we said in draft, but it looks like it's going to be becoming even more true with the rest of the team fooling around her. She's the only one really high on CS, the only one with a kill positive there. Well, with a good KD ratio, is what I'll say. There's a kill in the mid, but there's nothing in bot lane, nothing in jungle.
And RT's secking up the dragons, 50 minutes in.
2 dragons on side them. Cloud Drake. It's not going to be that great.
Takes room. Yeah, not that great. Maybe does it proc when you initially press Rengar ult, because then you get some extra movement speed if you're being Rengar. That
Speaking
might
of
be
Rengar
nice.
ult,
But
looking down to track down this top laner from the side of Dirty Dancers, but Daisy coming through for the gank bot lane, but they're not able to make anything happen. Unfortunately, there, Angelsarcher just hadn't had the success he's wanted with these ganks, though they do hook him in. But there is a flank from behind. Good stun from Foxey onto the Cassio, but Lulu's just rooted. She can't flash away. She can now find flash now that she's thought out of it. Cassio comes down onto the Ivern. She don't have much damage here. You've only got Lulu. Oh, that's a five-person dive onto bot lane. Yeah, I can count. And they just destroy the turret, claiming another outer for the side of our team, and it just looks disastrous for Dirty Dancers.
it all started off with Virus and Mean Machine actually getting a 2v2 kill, I believe, onto the Ashe, almost taking down the Lulu as well. She did pop the Wild Growth, but the entire team shows up and they just take down some more and now get 2 towers. Maybe can base, just catch top, maybe look for mid or the top lane tower to break, because Virus is very strong now.
Speaking of counting, I want you to do a little maths for me. Could you count the amount of mythics on the side of Dirty Dancers, and then count the amount of mythics on the side of RT?
That would be 1 against 5, yeah. Of course, Kayle does have a legendary item in the form of an Ashes Tooth, but not the mythic yet.
Yeah, not mythic yet, and nobody else has even finished their first item, while it looks like Rengar and Cassio and even Tristana are well on the way to nearly finishing their second.
Yep.
We can't see, we're maybe going to try and have a gold difference individually on the champions. It's a 10k gold difference at 16 minutes.
Zoltar sitting on 1200 gold. If he bases, he should be able to finish his second item, I think. As I look to break the top tower with 4 men showing up.
Looking for a dive up top lane. This is something RT's been really good about doing. They've just been roaming around the map and punishing the side of Dirty Dancers where they're weak. And getting the kill onto Dashingo, who despite his really good defensive play, what are you going to do versus a Rengar diving in you, a Tristana jumping in on you, a Viego ulting you? It seems impossible.
Look at the gold. I mean, double the gold for the jungler. 2000 gold ahead on the mid lane, almost double the gold in the bot lane. It's just a complete stomp all across the board here for RT.
In the jungle.
At 11.5k lead at 17 minutes. They're
going to pick up the Rift Herald as well, and only accelerates it more, especially if they can crack one of those outer turrets. It's going to give a lot of local gold.
I feel like if you just go top here or mid and just pop it, you'll get the tower for free, maybe even break and inhibit the tower with how strong they are. They can just force so hard down Dirty Dancer's throat, who has not gotten the chance to skill up. Looking for the hook, maybe? No, but like we were talking about, the skill now died for the second time. It does have the most gold on our team, but it's not nearly enough to carry this game 1v9, so...
No. Ah, the dagger comes through and does manage to save the Ivern, but I think this turret's forfeit because of it. Lulu no ult. Yeah, Rengar around the back. Oh, the arrow goes wide, but it's not quite enough yet. At least maybe they can look for a turret here. They're taking up a lot of turret shots, but they put down the Rift Herald, and that turret is certainly going down. Did you get Mean Machine low?
I think Zoltar accidentally popped down the Herald because he wanted to use the sweeper. So pretty unfortunate there by Zoltar to kind of waste this Herald there. Should have been able to at least break 1 tower, maybe even 2. But yeah, kind of unlucky. As a mid laner, not used to having the Herald probably.
Yeah, but flexing that 12.5k gold lead, man, that's almost twice as much. Well, they got 1.5 times as much gold as 30 Dancers do, and it seems really, really dire. You've got to count on the Kayle in these team fights. That's all you can hope to do. But honestly, they could all run one at a time into the Kayle, and they're like, I feel like you could almost 3v5 this game on the side of RT. You can just send the Tristana in, send the Viego in, and send the Rengar in. They just demolish every single member, especially when you don't have any cheap tank methods coming through for the side of Dirty Dancers. Can we have a look at the itemization, please, observers? Looks like first items are finished, but still no first item on that Ashe. Oh, that's painful. Almost 20 minutes and your ADC doesn't have their first item.
And he's opting into either the Kraken or the Gale, which is not the go-to build on Ashe at the moment, which is kind of strange to me. But yeah, like we were talking about, Viego.
Kraken if you got Lulu, but
Viego's close to his third item, I think. Tristana almost has her second one as well, but I'm not sure what she's building. But she doesn't want to finish her second item because she could have, since she has a pickaxe. But yeah, free dragon here. Not really much Dirty Dance can do here except wait it out, hope for the skill to skill up. But even so, I'm not sure if the skill can 1v5 against the comp that RT has, the amount of damage that's on this comp.
They can't. They don't have anyone who can really put forwards into the jungle. So Kayle's blown on the Ivern that's out. Look, Irelia's diving on the backline. Maybe gonna try and get something on SylvCast, but Zoltar then gets taken down. Ashe is not in the fight yet. Lulu gets jumped up by the Rengar. Almost gets Wonder gets blown up. That's disgusting. And Viego over the wall. They know there's no Kayle. Oh, they stole the Kayle. They stole the one hope, and Tristana flashes forwards, having to flash up on the side of lucasfelipe. But that's disgusting. It's. I don't even know what to say. Those dancers, man. They can't do anything. They can cancel the pack on Virus, but that's not going to lead to much.
Yeah, they're just outnumbered, out-itemed, is just way too behind to actually stand and fight against RT at this point. They were looking to base, but I feel like I could just get the inhibitor here, maybe even take the top tower too afterwards. It's kind of doomed here for Dirty Dancers. Maybe with a miracle fight or a miracle pick with the Ashe, they can try and make their way back into this game, but I don't see it happening anytime soon.
I think if Dirty Dancers step outside their base here, they are making a huge mistake. Genuinely, that's because Ivern just stepped too far forwards into unwarded jungle and got caught out. And you just can't look for wards, especially when you got a Lulu rather than something like the Nautilus who can have some hope of escaping. I think you have to give up this turret. lucasfelipe almost chunked almost to half health already, over half health. He's super low, you can't fight this. But they're looking to go towards the Baron, and I don't know how Dirty Dancers can even think about stopping this.
Yeah, like you said, they can't really get out of their base, and the entire jungle is what a great vision here from RT. And I mean, how are they supposed to do anything? They get immediately noticed when they're moving, and the item differential again. Virus has the back here, and I think he just want to take some more camps to finish maybe 2 items off, because I feel like this man is sitting on a lot of gold.
Yeah. We're gonna have a replay of that last fight. You see, yeah, they're stepping too far forward on the Ivern. They're trying to dive onto the Cassio, but they just get ulted. Lulu ult saves the life of the Irelia, but she just dies. And then RT managed to sweep through. They almost flank them because they forget to check the right path, and then they just get blown up over and over again. Nice Thresh hook there. Nice flex, but yeah, it's just almost impossible to win the fight.
Viego is just too strong at this point. He dove in 1v3. It didn't matter at all because he's just that strong, that tanky. It just one-shots everything around him. And like you said, also takes down a kill with a nice ult over the wall with a nice hook from Me Machine. And as they look towards the Baron, I don't think you can contest this being Dirty Dancer. They do move up though, but yeah, they wisely back off knowing that it's gone. They can't contest. Just try and turtle, skill up with your kill. But I'm
level 12. But I think it's very smart that RT didn't take the inhibitor in the mid lane, right? Because that could just funnel in the extra golden experience Kayle needs to get her second item, which is kind of scary. Everyone's sitting on 1 item on the side of DID versus the 2 at least on every single member, apart from the support on the side of RT. And Lulu gets caught out by the Viego from the mist, doesn't manage to die. Look at this shield, it's kind of nuts. But
yeah, they take the inhibitor now. Like you said, early inhibitors not always that good, especially against scaling like Kayle. Would have been able to pick up these 3 waves for a while. I believe Viego based. I'm not sure why. They feel like they could have just broken down top tower with the Viego there, but Viego wants the base for his 3rd item, I think.
Yes, that item.
Yeah, with the Wit's End here. Pretty good pickup against the comp.
Yeah. Maybe you can look for a pick on this Rengar if you know everyone else's base, but he will have the CC cleanse up soon, and yeah, they're not going to do it. I feel like Ashe doesn't even have the arrow to pull. There's a trigger there.
No,
So
he doesn't have the arrow.
Yeah, I feel like that's the only way that Dirty Dancers can start a fight on their own terms, picking an Ashe arrow onto one of the squishier members of RT, but that's going to be almost impossible still, especially with the Thresh Lantern.
That is the only hope here for Dirty Dancers. Try and get a nice pick, maybe a big shutdown onto the kill. Could save this game, but for now, like you said, pretty hard, especially on the Rengar with the CC removal and Thresh being around everyone with the lantern to try and get them out. Nice hook there.
Blind to go, well, it's not, maybe not blind the wall, but then you just get hooked the Ashe, it's dead. Oh, the Star jumps over, it's an absolute disaster for the side of Dirty Dancers, but yeah, Rengar gets a one-shot, the Kayle comes through, Rengar maybe overdived here, we're talking about the miracle kill, but no, she's just got the melee mode, hit the Kayle without the shot that goes over to the Ivern, and the Viego jumps in, it's totally over. They get the soul on the Irelia, they get the shutdown on the Ivern, it's totally destroyed. Let's see if one little Lulu that could defend the space, but I don't think that's going to be very easy. I think this game's dead over to the side of RT, and I think it's been over since that dive on the bot lane turret, to be honest.
Rising Tides are drowning Dirty Dancers in a stomp 25 minutes in. Look at the gold
Oh,
lead
50k
from
gold in
RT.
25 minutes.
My
2,000 gold.
God, yeah, the freeze indicating the game is indeed over.